If you've ever been betrayed by someone close to you, stick around and find out why that might be happening and what you can do about it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Matt Schmidt and I guide people to heal themselves. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why you may be in this situation where life is good, you're in a good relationship with someone, and then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, it seems like things switch. Like someone flipped a switch and you don't know why that's happening. Maybe people are talking behind your back. Maybe the whole relationship just blows up in your face and you didn't even see it coming. And you're thinking, how the hell did we get here? I'll tell you. So while everything is seemingly good on the surface, everything is seemingly good on the surface until you reach kind of that tipping point. And all this stuff is kind of festering in the other person. But on the outside, everything appears great. But behind the scenes, maybe there was like a catalyst. Maybe you got a promotion at work. Maybe you started getting more attention for something that the other person sees in you. And this is bringing up all their own inadequacies, their own insecurities, part of the reasons that they're not feeling good enough. And really, they see you more as a threat, as competition, and really they're feeling even more insecure by themselves, and it's just like a volcano. It just kind of blows up from that point. And on the surface, it really throws you off because a lot of times it just comes out of the blue, and it catches you off guard. So I recently had this happen to me, and it really rocked me. I'm not gonna lie. I had someone that was close to me, someone that I trusted, someone that I considered a friend, a mentor, and we got to a point where something just flipped. There was some like wild accusations, and it was just like all over the place. And I was thinking, like, how did we get here? Like, I thought those exact same words, and it really rocked me. But fortunately, I've been here before. So I had this happen when I was in college. I had one of my professors that I kind of looked up to, and I was working really hard to kind of prove myself at that point because I was just trying to get the approval, the validation that I was kind of craving, but also I guess trying to prove myself. And I didn't know really what happened because I was trying to figure out what I did wrong, but this person kind of flipped the whole department on me and the students, and no one really knew what was going on, and either did I because none of this was ever spoken. It was just like he just had it out for me, and I could not figure it out. I could not figure out, and because I was in that situation where I was still like needing this approval, needing this validation, and not understanding the situation, I actually stayed in that a lot longer than I needed to. It was like a couple years where I was still trying to like do everything to please this person, and still the harder I worked, the like more pronounced this got, and it got to the point where it actually turned into like a physical altercation where this professor tried to like beat me up and my roommate had to pull him off of me, and it was pretty wild. It was pretty absurd. And I didn't mention anything because like I wasn't gonna get this person in trouble or whatever at the time. But it was pretty wild. Not gonna lie. And it didn't make any sense. It was freaking driving me nuts. I'm like, I make this person look good. Why, like, being this person's student, like, I make this person look good. What is going on here? Because this would actually like grow his whole department. I was doing work in other countries. I was doing like all this cool stuff that would have really like made him look good, but he was not having it. I didn't figure it out until a while later when this started happening to other people. So it happened to other people, and some of the people were people that like probably did never anything wrong in their whole life, and that was like became blatantly obvious that he just had it out for anyone that he perceived as better than him, and that brought up all his own stuff. And I don't even know where he's at now, but at the time it just drove me nuts. It actually happened to someone before me, and didn't really understand what was going on with their relationship because I thought it was just between them two, and it didn't really make any sense at that time either. But and then it's weird how it doesn't really affect you until it's your turn. And yeah, it was brutal. But once this happened to other people, then I could see that this was coming from his own insecurities and what he perceived as people who are better than him, and he saw them like as a threat. And then he got really defensive. He like I don't know, just kind of dragged them through the mud, and it looked pretty wild. So the interesting thing is, like, no one stuck up for these people. Even going through this, no one stood up for any of these people until, like, I think only one professor actually like had the balls to like stand up and say something because he could see what was going on. But everyone else is kind of blindsided because these people were like they're nice, they seem genuine to everyone else, but then when you when they're in this situation, so I don't know where things are at now, but it's amazing to see kind of how this all played out. So it's awesome because I went through this before, so I had this kind of higher perspective. I could see what was going on. I had more bits and pieces of the puzzle because this time around it was like more verbal, and I could see it was this person's wounds that they weren't addressing, and basically I was just the whipping boy this time around, and it was coming out at me. That's fine. I can take it. I forgive them. I wish them well on their journey. But I also realized that like this is not my stuff. And that's kind of where I stopped then. And then I started doing my own healing and realizing also that this came up for me. This came up for me because I hadn't processed that trauma from my biology advisor from back in the day. And it actually allowed me to release that and have that forgiveness and actually process and heal that wound for myself. So this actually turned out to be a gift. And in terms of the universe too, this allowed me to kind of move on. So this is kind of what I needed. I got like I got the teachings I needed. I got what I needed from this person, but now our energies didn't align, and basically I had to break up with this person. And no hard feelings. It's just like I knew that I didn't need to linger there. I didn't need that approval. I didn't need that validation like I did the first time around. And it was so much easier because I knew it needed to happen. I knew how it had to happen, and I'm okay with it. If that person comes back in my life, awesome. If not, I wish them well on their journey. But really, it's not up to me. I watched how it played out with in this other situation, and nothing ever got better. Some of the people kind of eventually realized what was going on, then people just acted like it didn't happen. But there's no point in staying in that. So if you're not aligning with someone's energy, separating from that person, and it frees up you and them to move on. Otherwise, it's stagnant, and nothing else new can come in better. So if you have been going through this and having like some rough patches and things are getting really uncomfortable, this is actually your chance to level up. This is your chance. This is the pressure you need to level up to and grow your soul and to really embrace that experience that you're being given. So some of the healing that I did around this was actually about my moral compass. So this really rocked my rocked my mind. This rocked my like what I thought was like my value set because I listened to everything. I'm like, and I actually took it. I'm like, okay, I honor this person. Maybe there's something that I'm not aware of that I'm not seeing. So it gave me an opportunity to take a real hard, good look at myself and seeing how my moral compass aligns. So basically, this person came along and took the compass and, whoo, that needle's just spinning. And by going through this process, I got to ask those questions. Does this feel right in my heart? Am I doing the right thing? Am I hurting anyone in this process? Am I doing some of the things that this person is claiming? I had a chance to look at all of it. And after going through that process, I really feel so much better in my conviction, in my intention, and where I'm headed. And I feel deep in my soul that I'm headed in the right place. Like I know deep in my heart that this is what I need to give for people. And I think this isn't the last time this is going to happen. You know, as you grow, like people are going to get uncomfortable, and people are going to come at you. I think it's just part of it. Even like growing on YouTube, there's going to be haters, and that's okay. That's also part of it. But it's part of this journey, and how are you going to roll with that? Okay. So this moral compass process that I went through is actually super, super powerful. And my partner Whitney kind of guided me through this process, and it was very healing, very cathartic for me. And I was able to really process a lot and have more like strength, more confidence in myself, and just know that I'm doing what's right for me and right for the people in my life at this moment. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, I'd love to share a process like that with you. So curious to your thoughts if that would be something that you'd enjoy doing, or if you think that's something that would help you. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. And if you've had any similar experiences, please drop those in the comments below. And we will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.